Moving on to USD Swiss on the daily time frame, we can see that we've had that break of structuring towards the upside. This is our swing low and this is our swing high. As we spoke about, we don't really have a clear direction. We're trading after this break of structure, and therefore I would like to see some points of liquidity get taken. However, we did also say that the Swiss franc is relatively weak at the moment, whereas the US dollar is currently gaining some strength, and therefore we could just see this trickle on up higher. We didn't see any clean price action here, in my opinion, and therefore it's just not something I have been trading. In essence, I do potentially think that we are just going to slowly push on up for the rest of today. Maybe next week we can see that deeper pullback towards points of liquidity, but until I see a clear liquidation of some significant liquidity, it's not a pair that I will be trading. Now, moving on to USD Yen, it's a relatively similar story. We've had this 4-hour break of structure, swing low and swing high. Yet we are at 163.836, and therefore in the near future I do anticipate that intervention to take place, definitely before the 165 level or at the 165 level. Around those levels, that is where I'm looking to see that intervention take place, and therefore it's just not a pair I want to trade. I don't want to take the risk. It's almost gambling in my opinion, so I would, if I were you, keep my hands off of it. Moving on, and finally to USDCAD, we've got this break of structuring towards the upside on the daily time frame, and this is the current swing range that we are trading within. Now, still ideally we want to see these points of liquidity getting taken before we then look for that next upside move. However, if we go down onto the 4-hour time frame, we can see that we have got a lot of distance still to cover. We've got our most recent break of structure over here, and the most, like all of this liquidity here, I'd like to see the lowest point get taken, but I understand that this is highly unlikely in such a bullish market, and therefore it could just be that we liquidate the first low. Maybe the second low is enough to then push pricing towards the upside again. I do want to see one more drive down, and then I will be looking for a long position. If we don't see that drive down and we start to see some structure develop like this, I'd then be happy to look for a long position on like the second break of structure. But for now, it needs more development, and I would stay away from this pair today.